Okay, hello. Hopefully, let me just double check to see this is working. Hmm. Okay, cool. So, okay, hello everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. What I do is I'm an English teacher and I'm gonna start doing a lot of live stream English lessons where I get a video about an interesting topic. Topics like AI, technology, economics, culture, travel, maybe food. Um, yeah, business. So what I do is I get the video and then in this live stream, I'm gonna share it with you so you can see the video. But we're gonna study the language along the way, okay? And try and go as fast as possible to so hopefully you can build as much new vocabulary and expressions as possible. But I'm also gonna look at the grammar a lot. Okay, so yeah, the goal is to go as fast as possible to learn as much new language points as possible. Okay, so let me get a drink and then we can begin. Okay, so just a moment. I gotta make sure everything's working. But I'm also gonna look at the grammar a lot. Okay, cool. So yeah, sound is on. Um, all right. So let's go. Okay, so the video is called How the Economic Machine Works by Ray Dalio. Okay, so Ray Dalio is a famous investor. He's probably not as, yeah, no, I don't think he is as famous as Warren Buffett, but he's pretty famous in America. And yeah, so this is his video, How the Economic Machine Works by Ray Dalio. And I think it's a very interesting video because he is someone with a huge amount of economic experience and investing experience. And in this video, he tries to break down the economic machine into very simple parts so the regular person can understand the basics. Okay, so let's jump into it.
The economy,
1 second.
how the economic machine works in
Let's turn the subtitles on.
30 minutes.
So how the economic machine works in 30 minutes. So this is a title. So the normal rules for grammar don't apply for titles. Because normally if you see a question word at the beginning of a sentence, you think it's a question. Yeah. How long have you been traveling in Italy for? Would be a question. But this is just a title, so yeah, that's another whole huge topic, but most people don't have to worry about titles that much. So, let's go.
The economy works like a simple machine.
The economy works like a simple machine. So, it works present simple. We use the present simple when we're talking about facts, general facts, okay? So this happens a lot when people explain topics because we explain things very generally. So we use a lot of present simple. The economy works like a simple machine, a basic machine.
But many people
don't understand it. It's negative, but it's present simple, general fact.
understand it, or they don't agree on how it
Or they don't agree how it works. Works, present simple, don't agree, present simple. General fact.
works. And this has led to a lot of
Okay, but now we have some interesting grammar.
needless economic suffering.
And this has led to a lot of needless economic suffering. So,
Or they don't
he said, so there's a lot of disagreement and a lot of confusion. Many people don't understand it.
or they don't agree, and this
So this disagreement and confusion has led to a lot of needless or unnecessary economic suffering. So has led is present perfect. So for a lot of students, it's very difficult to understand the difference between the present perfect and the past simple. But for me, the past simple, I look at it in a weird way. Like I look at it in terms of zooming into a time, specific time, or zooming out and not really knowing the time. So for me, the past simple, well, when you mention a specific time, the past simple is used. Okay, so you could say I traveled to Barcelona 2 months ago. So we have a timeline, and we have 2 months ago, that mark on the timeline. Because we mentioned 2 months ago a specific time, then we use past simple. I traveled to Spain 2 months ago. Okay, we're zooming into that specific time. But you could also zoom in with past continuous. Okay, so I was traveling around Spain 2 months ago. Okay, so yeah, the past simple and the past continuous are used when you're zooming into a specific time. But if you don't want to mention time, then we can use the present perfect. Okay, so it's very zoom out. We don't know when, but we could say, do you know, I have traveled to Spain recently. Where was it? Spain or Barcelona? I've traveled to Barcelona recently. So it's very zoom out. You don't know exactly when I traveled there, but you know I traveled there. Okay, so that's what I mean by zoom out. Like it's very unclear. The time is very unclear. But when we mention a specific time 2 months ago, then past simple, past continuous. So, so this has led to a lot of unnecessary economic suffering. But we don't know exactly when the suffering happened, but we know broadly, or in a very zoom out way, looking at the past, that that has happened. But we don't know specifically when. So this has led to a lot of needless, unnecessary economic suffering. So the gerund is pretty interesting because we use the gerund a lot, more than you would think. The gerund, it's basically verb ing, and there's no be, there's no is, are, were, am, no auxiliary verbs. Yeah, these small little verbs. You know, like I am talking. We have am talking for present continuous, but for the gerund, there's no am. Okay, so sometimes a gerund, so a gerund is verb ing, verbing, suffering, programming, running. So a gerund can sometimes have a function of a noun. Sometimes the function is more verb. Sometimes the function is more adjective. Okay, so if I said to you, I like programming, do you, what function do you think programming has? Is it, I like programming. Is it noun, verb, or adjective? Okay, in this situation, it's more noun. Okay, in this situation, it's more noun because I like the concept of programming. Okay, so the root is a verb. To program is a verb, but then we create a concept out of it, programming, with the gerund. Okay, or I could say, yesterday I just stayed at home watching movies all day long. So yesterday I just stayed at home watching movies. So is that gerund more noun, verb, or adjective? Okay, it's actually more verb. Okay, the feeling is more verb. I stayed at home watching movies. Then you could also say, hey, look at that racing car. Okay, so racing car. Racing is a noun, verb, or adjective. It's an adjective. Okay, car, racing car. Car is the noun. What kind of car? A racing car. Okay, so what do you think the function is of this gerund? A lot of needless economic suffering. Okay, the function is more noun. Okay, the concept of suffering. And we have some adjectives here, so that gives you a clue as well. So what kind of suffering? Because this is the noun here. Economic suffering. Needless economic suffering. Okay.
This has led to a lot of needless economic suffering. I feel a deep sense of
So I feel, I guess he's saying now he feels, or generally he feels. I feel a deep sense of responsibility.
Responsibility to share my simple
To share. So very often we have one verb here, I feel, a deep sense of responsibility, and then we can add additional follow-up verbs, and it's normally with to, okay?
ability to
To share, okay? So for example, I could say I teach English. So the main verb is teach. I teach English, and then I can add some follow-up verbs. I call them follow-up verbs. So I teach English to make money, to pay my rent, to go on holiday, to live life, you know. So you start with the main verb, and then you can say to infinitive, to infinitive, to infinitive, the infinitive form of the verb. So to share my simple, my basic, but practical or useful economic template. Okay, this is a tool here called Language Reactor, and at the moment
Practical.
you can see the synonyms here. Pragmatic, functional. Yeah, I would go for pragmatic or functional. Practical. Yeah. So economic template. So template is the noun. Economic, adjective. Practical, adjective. Template, synonyms.
Template.
Pattern or like a model. Okay, like a model that you can use. You could take his model and use the same model for your own success. So, okay.
share my simple but practical economic template. Though it's
Though it's unconventional. So, unconventional would be not normal. Conventional would be the normal that people are used to, that everyone knows. The conventional methods that most people know. But unconventional would be weird, creative, unknown methods. So let's see this.
Unconventional.
Non-traditional, unorthodox, irregular. Okay, let me just check to see. I just want to see if anyone joins and leaves a comment. Okay. So,
conventional. It has helped me to anticipate and
though. So though we use for contrast, and you can also see even though or although, okay, but it's just used for contrast. So though it was raining, I still went for a run. So this contrast, yeah, it's raining, but I still did something which you don't expect. Okay, though it was raining, I still went for a run. I could say even though it was raining, even though I guess adds like a more of a surprising feeling. Like, wow, even though, okay, there's a feeling of surprise. Even though it was raining, I still went for a run. Or you could say, although it was raining, I still went for a run. They're basically all the same thing. Okay, they're just used for contrast. And you could say, even though I am poor, something like that. Even though I am poor, I still try and live my best life. Okay, this contrast. Poor, but you still try the opposite. Well, I think you get it. There's some kind of contrast feeling.
though it's unconventional, it has helped me to anticipate and to sidestep the global financial crisis.
So though his method isn't normal, it still helped him. Okay, the feeling of contrast. It has helped me to anticipate and sidestep. So present perfect again. So is this zoom in where we know a specific time, or is it very zoom out where time is unclear? Okay, it has helped me. It's very zoom out. It's very unclear when. We know it has helped him. We don't know when exactly. Okay, so it has helped me to anticipate. Anticipate means to be aware and be prepared for something in the future. So let's see some synonyms.
Anticipate.
Expect, suppose, foreshadow, foresee, look ahead, I guess. Anticipate and sidestep. So sidestep would be avoid, yeah? Step to the side to avoid the crisis that's coming, the disaster that's coming. So sidestep, we have
Sidestep.
bypass, evade, I would say avoid, dodge. Sidestep the global, the worldwide financial crisis, disaster. So here he's talking about 2008, the 2008 global financial crisis, because the video was made 11 years ago, and just a few years before that there was the 2008 global financial crisis. Well, to be honest, it was mostly Europe, I guess more Western Europe and America and the US. Some countries seem to avoid it, to sidestep it. Well, I don't know if they sidestepped. It just didn't really hit them that hard. Um, okay.
And it has worked well for me for over 30.
And it has worked. Let me just sidestep.
And it has worked well for me for over 30 years.
So this one here, it has worked well for me for over 30 years. Do you think it's very zoom in or very zoom out? Okay, I'm sorry, it's a trick question because it's neither zoom in or zoom out. The moment you see if you have present perfect without for or since, okay, like I have traveled to Barcelona recently. I don't say for how long, or I don't say since a time, okay? It's just I have traveled to Barcelona recently. So in this situation, it's very zoom out. It's finished in the past and you're not in Barcelona now, but we know you went to Barcelona recently. But the moment you use present perfect with for, like for 30 years, or since the 90s, 1995, the moment you see present perfect and for or since, it has a totally different function, okay, than zoom in, zoom out. The function is more, we know an action started in the past, continued until now, and still continues now, okay? It's a totally different function to zoom in or zoom out, because zoom in and zoom out, they both finished in the past, okay? I have traveled to Barcelona recently, but I'm not in Barcelona now. It finished. I traveled there 2 months ago. Finished. I was traveling there. Well, I was traveling around Barcelona 2 months ago. Finished. So, okay. And you can also say, or you can also use present perfect continuous. Okay, so, and, what?
It has helped me to anticipate and to sidestep the global financial.
It has helped me. Well, it helped him because you would use present perfect because this is one specific crisis. Okay, it has helped me. You couldn't say it has been helping me to sidestep. No, because this event is finished. So I guess you use present perfect.
Financial crisis, and it has worked well for me for.
But here, you could use present perfect continuous because it's 30 years until now and has been working well for me for over 30 years. So in this situation, you can use has worked and also has been working well for me for over 30 years. They're both the exact same meaning. I could say, I have lived in New York for 10 years. I have lived in New York for 10 years, but I can also say I have been living in New York for 10 years. They both mean the same thing. Started in the past, until now, and still now.
For over 30 years.
But if something finished in the past, then you would say, I lived in New Zealand for 5 years. That's finished in the past. Okay? So I lived in New Zealand for 5 years, or I was living in New Zealand for 5 years. Okay? If the duration is finished in the past, you can use past simple and past continuous. I lived and I was living in New Zealand for 5 years. So, okay.
Let's begin. Though the economy might seem complex, it works in a simple.
Though, so remember it's contrast, yeah? Though, or even though, or although. You can actually use all three in this situation. Although the economy might seem complex, even though the economy might seem, yeah, even though it's just a little, there's a feeling of surprise. Like you might be surprised to know that even though the economy might seem complex. So yeah, you can use though, although, or even though. Though the economy might seem complex. What's the difference between might and may? They have the exact same meaning. It's 50-50 maybe, but may is more polite, more formal. So though the economy may or might seem complex,
complex,
complicated, difficult, intricate.
complex,
Okay. It worked, though the economy might generally, okay, so generally might seem complex or complex. It works, present simple, fact, it works in a simple mechanical way. Okay, simple, basic.
Mechanical way. It's made up of a few simple parts.
The economy, it's made up of, so made up of,
made,
here they won't, oh, no, okay, let's forget that. Made up of just means it consists of. Okay, it consists of a few simple parts. So you have the one big thing, the economy, made of many small parts. But it's better to say, the economy is made up of many or of a few simple parts, or consists of, or is composed of. So it's made up of a few, so phrasal verb, yeah? It's made up of a few simple parts and a lot of simple, basic transactions. Transaction is I have money, I'm the buyer, the seller has a, sorry, people probably understand what transaction is, but I have to kind of accommodate everyone. So apologies if this is too easy for some people. Transaction, I'm the buyer, I have money, the seller has a product or service, and I give them money, they give me a product or service. So,
And a lot of simple transactions that are repeated over and over again.
that are repeated over and over again a zillion times.
A zillion times.
So, transactions that are repeated. So, this is passive. Okay? So, yeah, you just got to get familiar with recognizing patterns. But for the passive, we use a be, like a word that comes from the verb be. Okay, so is, are, were, am. So we have be, and then we have third form verb. Okay, to repeat, repeated, repeated. That are repeated by who? By everyone, by people. Okay, so for the passive, we focus on things in the world, things and objects and concepts, I guess. Yeah, just think of things in the world. And for the passive, we focus on those things and what was done to those things. By who, we don't normally need to mention. Okay, for example, these transactions that are repeated over and over again, by who, obviously it's people. Yeah. My package was delivered this morning. My package, it's a thing. Yeah. My package was delivered this morning. By who? Of course, the delivery man. So we don't have to mention the delivery man. It's obvious. But sometimes you do need to mention by who. Like, when would you need to do it? If there was an issue with an email at work and the boss really wanted to know who sent the email, he could say, who was this email sent by? Okay, that the email was sent by Chris. Okay, because in that situation, we want to know by who. But 90% of the time, 95% of the time, I see that we don't mention by who, because we're focusing on the thing. That are repeated over and over again a zillion times. A zillion, so we have a million, million or 1 million, 2 million, and then we have billion and trillion. But a zillion, it's kind of a joke word. Okay, a zillion is when it's okay. The number is absolutely crazy. It's absolutely huge. It's kind of a joke word for a huge amount of money. Okay, another one is gazillion. A gazillion. It doesn't mean it's not a tech. It's not an actual word. It's more of a joke slang word. Over and over again, a zillion times. Um,
These transactions are above all else driven by human nature.
These transactions, buyer and seller exchanging money for products and services, these transactions are above all else driven by human nature. So these transactions, these things, okay, are driven. So it's passive. Okay? But now he wants to emphasize by what? Yeah, by human nature. Humans, just the way humans are. Okay, human nature. Above all else means that there could be a few reasons for something to happen, but above all else, this is the main reason. Okay, above all the other reasons. So these transactions are above all else driven. So drive is to drive something is to push. How would you say? Like there's a car. What drives the car? The engine gives motion to the car. It pushes the car. It lets the car go forward. So human nature is the engine that drives the economy. Okay, that gives movement to the economy. Okay, I'm gonna finish up. It's just a quick video, but in the future I'm gonna make more videos like this, and maybe I'll keep studying this video. But hopefully you gained some vocabulary, expressions, and grammar. And I'm gonna use a lot of videos like this. So good stuff. Thanks for watching.